Okay everybody, welcome back to another video by Smitty's Gunsmithing. In today's video, I'm going to go over how to field strip and do a basic clean on a Glock pistol. First thing is drop your magazine, like you slide to the rear, make sure there's nothing in your chamber, release your slide, pull the trigger, and you're going to grab your slide release buttons right here, or your slide release lever. Pull your slide back to the rear slightly, and when you do, you'll feel that it'll be allowed to go down. When that goes down, you slide forward. Pull your recoil spring assembly out and your barrel. Okay, set the frame to the side over here. And what you want to do is take you a nylon cleaning brush and your applied one with your Glock pistol. Wet that brush with a solvent of your choice. And just scrub your bore. Okay. Once you've cleaned your bore really good, take your cotton patch. It's not going to go through the brush. This is a 45 it go through, but this is a 9mm, so cotton patch all the way through. See how much stuff come out. Flip it over, run it through again. Okay, moving on. This one's rather dirty, so go ahead and spray one of the patches with some solvent as well. That looked a lot better. And I'm going to dry one through again. And that came out pretty clean. I think most of that actually on there came from my fingers. Okay. So now I just want to put the outside of your barrel. Screw the barrel down, get your locking lugs. This is your feed ramp. Make sure it's good and clean. Okay. I'm just going to wipe it down. And I just use an old t-shirt, cut up, or cleaning rags or towels or anything I want to use. Doesn't have to be fancy. Your recoil spring assembly normally should be fine. Don't ever disassemble it. But if it happens to get real dirty, you can spray it with some cleaner and scrub it out with your brush. Scrub all that in there. Best thing I found is non-chlorinated brake cleaner. Spray it down. Set it aside and let it dry. You slide. You don't want anything more than you have to going up inside your striker channel. So whatever Glock recommends. I'm going to spray this down with some cleaner. when you're brushing your breech face right here, breech face, which needs to be scrubbed down really good, you want to hold the slide muzzle down. I'm going to start with the inside. And you want to scrub out your slide rail cuts really good on either side. Scrub out the bottom of your slide right here. Get your sides on the inside. Go in and get the bottom, which when the guns come back together is actually the top, but I like to get it here in the front really good. Then muzzle down. Grab your breech. Ejection port, all of that really good. I'll move them outside. I'll just scrub down the whole outside of it. Really good. Set that aside. Well, I'm going to wipe it down first, so I don't grab my t-shirt here and throw it all over the place. So wipe down the outside really good. I'm going to move here to the inside. I'll take a Q-tip, get all in these little grooves, areas you can't reach with your rag. Get up in that channel right there at the firing pin or the striker runs through. Run the length of your slide rail cuts. Clean the front grooves right here where your recoil spring assembly rides, and those front corners. Slide up here. Okay. Now that is done. Move on to your frame. Spray some cleaner. Clean your slide rails really good. I like to scrub the top of my trigger housing, front load. That's your lock and block right there. That's your slide release. This is your trigger bar. Slide stop lever. I like to hold that and get all up under there as best I can. Get out of mag well. Scrub all that out. Okay. If the outside of your gun's really dirty, you can scrub it down too. This one's not. In fact, the only reason this is needing cleaning is I qualified with it here a few weeks ago. I should have already had it cleaned, but I've been too busy to have time to do it. Working on other firearms. So I'll just run my rag up the mag well. If you want, you can take a toothpick, or rather a Q-tip. You can get out in all these areas right here. You can't get a rag into it. And you see how much dirt come out of that right there. Powder, residue, dirt, grit, dust, whatever. But you can get down in there and hit those areas with a Q-tip best you can. This is as far as it's recommended to disassemble it for a non-certified Glock armor. What I like to do when I'm finished, take some non-chlorinated brake cleaner. And just flush all that really good, and that's going to get most of that stuff out that you can't reach. My slide, do the same thing. Add some more straws for the can. I like to hold it muzzle down, pull my striker up. And just flush that channel really good in case any grit or debris got up in there. And it'll come out the front right here. Right there where your firing pin protrudes. It'll come out right there. So once I got that done, I know I have two other little straws right here, but we'll use this. I take some compressed air, use air compressor if you got one. I just don't have mine turned on right this minute. Now, as far as lubing this, the reassembly, Glock recommends that you wipe down the whole outside of the barrel with oil. Your locking lugs, you want a drop of oil. A drop of oil down each of your slide cuts right here. And then wipe the exterior slide with oil. And you want a drop of oil on each of your slide rails right here. And then one drop of oil down here where your trigger connector goes. It's all well and good. If you're not using your firearm for duty use, you're not out in the weather, in the rain and everything. This is kind of geared more towards law enforcement. What I recommend is Glock's finishes aren't as good as they used to be. Glock used to use a Tenifer finish for Glock 3 and previous generations. Glock Gen 4 and 5, they use a different finish, and the finish just doesn't hold up and is not as rust resistant as the Tenifer finish was. And I've actually seen a lot of the Glocks now with rust around this ledge right here where the barrel goes, the front corners of the slide rails, or slide rail cuts, and the slide rails right here. Mostly officers' guns. Let's face it, most officers don't clean their guns and maintain them like they're supposed to. But even then, they are more prone to rusting than previous generations. So what I recommend is this product right here. It's one of the best rust preventative products on the market. It's already one-shot gun cleaner and lube. And after you spray it on, it dries and leaves a dry finish. That doesn't attract dust, dirt, lint, powder residue, and does a really good job at protecting it from rust. What I like to do, spray the entire frame, as this is not going to cause issues and gum up the weapon like oil would. Spray my entire barrel, feed ramp, locking lugs. I spray the entire inside of the slide very well. The exterior of the slide, and recoil spring assembly. What barrel in. Recoil spring assembly. Slide back on. Check your function, make sure it fires. Hold the trigger to the rear, rack the slide, reset, and it fires. Finger off, let it reset. You want to pull the edges of your trigger right here without touching the trigger safety, and it should not fire. I'm just going to take and wipe down that exterior of the gun. That Hornady one shot that's on the inside will dry in a short while and leave a dry lubricant protective film over the whole inside of the gun that will protect it from rust even if it gets wet, and it doesn't affect the function or attract dust, dirt, powder residue and stuff that can gum up your weapon and cause malfunctions. One of the best products on the market in my opinion for protecting the gun from rust and ease of application and cost. Frog Lube actually does a slightly better job than this as far as protecting from rust. However, it's very expensive, has to be applied properly or it will cause problems, and in a lot of situations it has gummed up people's firearms, especially in colder environments. You can find a lot of information about that on the internet if you want to look into that further. Disassemble your magazine. You take your Glock tool or any kind of punch that'll fit right here. You press your magazine or your base plate button, and then you just pry this forward until your base plate slides off. And some of them actually come off easily. Some of them, like this one, are a royal pain in the butt. I'm gonna start, I want it to come off, but it ain't coming. Reach in here and grab a little stubby flathead. Depress that button. Hold that, and then we'll go in here and try to press this forward. Not all of them are this difficult. There we go. So you see it finally popped. And just slide it off, keep your thumb over the end of it. Everything up there flying out on you. And everything will pull out. I just take a toothbrush and scrub all four surfaces. And I scrub the base plate. Can't remember the proper terminology for this little piece, but this goes at the bottom of your spring, and it's got your button that retains your base plate. Scrub the follower. This sometimes will separate. Your small wind goes at the top, and the front part that's lifted up goes on the front of your follower, and it will just snap back in place, just like that. Take my rag, wipe everything back off. I like to wipe down my spring, just make sure it's clean. You don't want to bend it or stretch it or change the shape of it or anything, but just do a basic wipe down. And I'll take my rag, run it up my magazine body. And you take something to help push it through if you want. Okay. Run it down and make sure everything's clean inside. Wipe down your base plate. And your button base. Alright. Make sure your part that's sticking up goes at the front of your magazine. You start your base plate. Your button's got a bit at the front. You can see how it lines up right there. And push that down. Once you got it down, slide your base plate on and press it all back together. Make sure your button pops back through the hole. That's your basic fuel strip and cleaning, including the magazine of a Glock pistol. Thanks for watching.